Natalia Bonner. Welcome back. I'm so excited to have you back here today and share another fun machine quilting video. I love sharing my videos with you. I love sharing my process of machine quilting. Some of the quilts I quilt aren't perfect, and that's okay because they're real quilts. I'm a real person that quilts real quilts. But this one in particular has me super duper excited. So I do have a full video of this quilt over in the Peace and Quilt Academy. If you have not yet subscribed to the Peace and Quilt Academy, you're missing out. Definitely check it out. You can subscribe over on our website, peaceandquilt.com. But this fun quilt that I'm sharing just a sneak peek of is my Farmer Star quilt. So I actually designed this quilt several years ago. I'll tell you a little bit more about it over in the Academy, but when I originally quilted this quilt, I just loved how it turned out, and I've had several requests for this quilt, and now was just the time. I finally was able to quilt it and record some videos, and I get to share them with you now. But today, what we're going to be focusing on is the awesome background filler. So I know that I've shared with you before my Swirly feather background filler. It's one that I do often. I love how it looks. It's fast, you get an awesome design. But I wanted to change it up just a little bit for this quilt, just because it's me, and I have a hard time quilting two quilts exactly the same way. So by doing this, it changed it up just a little bit. So I'm calling this my Swirly flower background filler. I'm actually using some green thread, some so fine green thread here on this quilt top. So between the so fine thread that I'm using here, the green color, and then one layer of the Quilter's Dream wool batting, the texture and the dimension that I'm able to create on a really pretty basic quilt is just freaking awesome, and I love it. I'm so excited about this. Before we hop over to the machine though, I just wanted to tell you, I do all my quilting on a Gammill 22-inch machine. What you will see here today is hand-guided quilting, just me and my right arm driving that quilt. Yes, I do quilt everything with just one hand. I know somebody's going to ask, I don't know why. That's just how I started quilting. Now when I bring the left hand up, I just feel out of control with it. So I quilt everything just one-handed. Try it. See if you feel a little bit more comfortable that way as well. Alrighty friends, let's hop over to my machine and let's get stitching. Because I work on a long arm machine, I like to start quilting on the left side of the quilt and work from left to right across my quilt, advance my quilt, and continue on. So to quilt out this fun design, I actually do teach more designs like this in my book and online class, Beginner's Guide to Free Motion Quilting. But today we're going to share how to quilt this version. So I'd like to start out by stitching a swirl. Now as I'm stitching my swirl, I'm always thinking about leaving myself an out, leaving enough space that once I stitch into the center, I can stitch back out without crossing over my line. But if I do cross over my line, I'm okay with that too. Once I've stitched that first swirl, now I'm going to start to add some flower petals to the outside of it. I'm stitching just a fun, kind of a curved shaped flower. It kind of reminds me of maybe like a daisy here. Now, if you liked a different shape of flower, you could do the same thing, just to add in a little bit more flair. From there, once I stitch those petals, I like to add echoing around the outside of my flowers. I think that by adding echoing, it helps kind of tie the whole little flower together and just finishes it off so nicely. Once I have my first one of those swirly flowers done, then I'm going to continue on to the next one. So I'll repeat that process, starting out by stitching a swirl, adding some petals to the outside, echoing, and then moving to the next one. Now, a few tricks here. Echoing is your friend. Whenever you have a space that you need to fill in with just a little extra bit of quilting, echo. Echo, echo, echo. It's always a great filler, echoing. I tell you it all the time in my classes. Echoing is your friend. Now, you'll see as I'm stitching out these flowers here, these flowers don't go all the way around. Some of them might only have 1 or 2 petals. Some might have 7. That's the beauty. By having varied numbers, you're actually going to create a lot more interest in your machine quilting. The other thing I do try to do, but I'm not always perfect, is kind of try to alternate the direction. I don't want them all to look like they're pointing towards the right or the top or the bottom. I want them to go all the directions. So by making them go all the directions, again, it makes it look a little bit better as an all-over design. The scale that I'm quilting here is pretty small, but this is a design that you could make quite a bit larger, a larger scale, and quilt as an all-over design on a quilt as well. So a great design for a background filler or an all-over design. Now, I hope you've all found a bit of inspiration from this fun background filler. If you do want to see me finish the rest of this awesome quilt, make sure you do hop over to our website, pieceandquilt.com, and join the Piece and Quilt Academy. I've got over 80 machine quilting videos in there right now, and with 2 new videos coming every month, you pretty much can plan on learning something new. Have a great day, everybody.